What is up, guys? This is TCG Sam here, and today the new ban list just dropped, so I'm going to be going over it and giving my thoughts on what I think the impact is going to be on the current meta and the future meta. I'm not going to be doing some reactions because obviously you guys have probably already seen the ban list by now. But anyways, first card that got banned, Guardragon LP. I think this was a long time coming. Everyone can see this card is really good in Dragon Link. And now that it's gone, it definitely will hurt Dragon Link. It prevents them from getting consistent access to a card like Chamber Dragon Maid to search the Dragon Maid Tiding, which is a super powerful card. It also prevents it from getting like Red MD from the deck or whatever, and that's just super strong. So I definitely think this takes Dragon Link down a peg or two. And we all know that like Striker Dragon was also hit, which I'll get into later. But for now, Guardragon LP getting hit, it kind of does hurt the Dragon Link deck in my opinion. It will definitely make it so it's not as strong as it was before. Zoodiac Trident getting banned, this is kind of huge because it takes out essentially the Zoo engine in Tri-Brigade Zoo, and like pure Zoo isn't a thing anymore after this. They definitely need this, even though you can still make Zeus with like, sure, you can like normal Zoo, go Borbo, make Zeus, but like without Trident, like turn 1 you have no plays with the Zoo deck, which is just terrible. You can't really do anything with the Zeus. Same thing with the Tri-Brigade stuff. Maybe they'll still splash a little bit because it's really good in that deck. It gives them a lot of Beast Warriors to banish for their Tri-Brigades, and it gives them access to Zeus. But like without Trident, honestly, all Zoodiac based decks took a huge hit to this. Trident is just absolutely huge in that deck. I definitely think that we won't be seeing pure Zeus anymore. Tri-Brigade Zoo will probably drop down to like Rogue status in my opinion, just because of how powerful card Trident was. Tri-Brigade will probably be played with like the Lyraless stuff in my opinion, like it used to before Phantom Rage came, before what's this called, the Revolt package came out. But yeah, anyways, no more Zoodiac, pure Zeus in the meta. I think maybe Zeus will still be splashed for Zeus, but only time will tell. I personally think that Zeus are just gone. Next up for the limited, Miscellaneous Saurus. This is really big for dinos because they no longer have consistent access to protect their dinosaurs from effects like during the main phase, because essentially acted as a call by the grave for the entire main phase, which is just actually insane. But now that it's at 1, dinos will be a lot less consistent, a lot more vulnerable to hand traps that they weren't before. Obviously the deck's not dead. Even with 1 Miscellaneous Saurus, they can still use it to summon out their Archosaur and combo from there. But what they won't have is like access to protect their conductor on your opponent's turn, and they won't have access to a strong follow-up anymore because they won't have other miscellaneous sources. So yeah, definitely putting it down to 1. I think this is a very appropriate hit. Dino's definitely taken down a peg or 2 as well. I would say they're probably tier 2 now at best. Who knows though? I would just say that it becomes a lot more vulnerable to hand traps, and that's not really good because hand traps are quite prevalent in this format. Perform Pulse Skullcrobat Joker, this is an interesting card for Pendulums. Obviously, it's just a Stratos that you can like search off of Pendulums, which is pretty good. It searches quite a few things. But otherwise, I just don't think Pendulums are that good. They still don't have Electromite back, meaning I just don't think there's much reason to like be playing Pendulums right now unless you really like the deck. Joker, I don't think really changes too much for the deck. But yeah, I just think they can start bringing back the Pendulum cards as well. Yeah, I just don't think Joker does much. Striker Dragon to 1, like I mentioned with LP before, this definitely puts Dragon Link down a peg or 2. I definitely think they're like tier 2 now at best. No LP means no like consistent like turn 1 access to like Dragon Maid Tiding, which is one of their best interruptions. And 1 Striker Dragon means they won't be able to be as flexible with like their putting like Darks in the graveyard and putting like linking off their black and white dragons that easily, because if you only have 1, you kind of need to save it for its effect to pop itself and add a recharger back. It definitely will force the Dragon Link player to be like more cognizant of how they want to play their extra deck. This was definitely a very important 3 of in the Dragon Link extra deck, and now that it's at 1, it'll definitely hurt the grind game of Dragon Link as well. Salamangreat Mirage Stallion, this is a decent boost to Salamangreats. Obviously, I don't think the deck's like good still, because like Gazelle and Circle still at 1, but it definitely allows them to play more of those like rank 3, level 3 Cyberse extenders they used to play, like Sea Archiver, Backup Secretary, stuff like that. It also turns like Spinny into like a better card, because just free level 3s to summon back to make into Mirage Stallion can be really important. I definitely think that like Salads will still be like Rogue at best. It definitely helps the deck a lot, but like I don't think unfortunately it'll bring them back because obviously Mirastalia still loses to cards like Ash, Gamma, Imperm Veiler, which are very common in this format, and even though it has a great effect to bounce when it sends to graveyard, it also does lock you into fire effects only, which prevents Salamangreats from actually going into one of their best like OTK plays with like Update Jammer into Axis Code Talker. So yeah, Mirastalia, while it's good, I don't think it'll help Salamangreats that much. Engage to 1, this is probably like the biggest like change this list, I would say, like that one that like pretty much no one saw coming. Engage is an insane card. The fact that like Kigari is still at 3, like, if you guys did not play during Sky Striker format, you know how, like, it's terrifying how good a single engage is. Like, the fact that you activate it with 3 spells, search, draw 1, Kigari, add it back, search, draw 1. Like, you just add 4 cards to your hand off a single card. Like, that's insane. That's actually, like, incredible. And the fact that, like, if you still have cards like Multiroll, even though it's at 1, it's just crazy how, like, Engage is at like 1 while Kigari is still at 3. The fact that Kigari is still at 3, you can add back Engage every single turn. Well, I'm not saying that Strikers will be like tier 1 or anything. I definitely think this brings them to at least like tier 1.5, tier 2, just because of how powerful this card is. The fact that they have access to it with Hayate and then Kigari adding it back is just absolutely insane. And yeah, I just don't think anyone saw this coming. This is a really, really incredible card that honestly, I think Konami's taking a little bit of a risk bringing it back, but although I guess it's fair because Droll is very popular in this format. Sky Strikers do lose to Droll, and Engage won't be able to do have too many shenanigans under Droll. Next, Double Iris Magician, semi-limited. Same thing with Skullcrobat Joker. Like, I don't think Pendulums are doing anything. This is fine to come back to 3 even. I really don't think this is doing much. Maybe like Pendulum Magicians will become like a rogue deck at best, like people start playing it because they're interested in pendulums, but I don't think it's gonna make that big of an impact on the meta. Albeit, Double Iris Magician searching the Time Pantograph trap is actually really, really good. It would be better against like Zeus because you just pop the normal zone, but now that Zeus is gone, just a single pop, like I don't think it's that good personally. And next, Symbol of Heritage, no one cares, this card does nothing. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts are on this list. What do you think the meta is going to change to? I personally think that, obviously, Tri-Brigade Zoos are going to fall out of the meta. Dragon League's also going to fall out of the meta. Dino's going to fall back down a little bit, although they're still going to be, like, somewhat in the meta, I would say, as a tier 2 deck. With that, you know what decks that leaves? That leaves, like, Shaddoll Invoke Dogmatica to rise up, like, Prankids to rise up, stuff like add Ignister to rise up, like, those, like, pretty much all the other decks that were like at the top competing for like the #1 spot will just be like the best decks now, and the decks that got hit obviously are just going down to like tier 2 in my opinion, because I don't think any of the decks are dead other than possibly Dragon Link. I don't know if people still want to play Dragon Link after LP is banned and Strikers Limited, because like I don't know what you do other than make like Hermetic Seal then in that deck. But yeah, a very huge hit. Zoo's gonna be pretty much out of the meta, Plus, maybe there's a chance that Sky Strikers can come back into the meta and Salamangreats as well. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, let me know in the comments below. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. And with that, I will see you guys soon. Take care.